Okay, so let's begin our class. Lie on your back. We're going to do impalers. Impalers to start. Impalers. You're going to bend your knees, lift your butt up off the mat. And try to get the block under your lower back, that lumbar area. And then straighten your legs. This is 2 minutes. So that's the tailbone, the net palmar. Move it up, no, to your lower back. Your heels are on the mat. It's an impaler, right? Imagine you're in Rome 2,000 years ago, right? And you're being impaled on a spear. That's it. Breath is deep as I start the timer. Net palmar. Bring the block further this way. Further. Further. Now straighten your legs. Now feel that opening. Okay, we're doing impalers, Kathy Miller. So this is 2 minutes. Now, let's release out of impalers and find happy baby. We're going to open up the hips today, but not a little later, but we're warming them up quite nicely. Happy baby, the bottoms of the feet face the heavens. You bend the knees, reach up as high as you're comfortable, right? As you breathe, pull the legs away from each other. You can pull one foot as the other pushes away. You can also bend one knee and straighten the other. Make sure you're breathing. This is only 1 minute. Actually, it's probably going to be closer to 45 seconds. Now, let's release. Let's find banana. So your legs are straight on the mat. Walk both legs off to the right side of the mat. Keep your legs straight. Keep your butt cheeks flat on the mat. When you can go no further with your legs, scooch your head, shoulders, and arms towards your feet. And now you're resembling a banana. You can bring your arms out like wings to start. And if they're comfortable enough, you can draw them overhead. Your head will turn to the left, and your breath is deep. You could slide the right leg away from the left as the pose deepens, right, as your body releases, or you can even cross one ankle over the other. Now, let's release and once again find happy baby. Breath is deep. Make sure you're moving a little bit, right? Legs pulling away from each other. Front to back. And you can also bend one knee as the other straightens. When you're ready, let's find banana to the left. Your legs are straight. Walk both legs to the left. When you can go no further, scoot your head, shoulders, and arms toward your feet. Butt cheeks are flat on the mat. Head turns to the right, arms can draw overhead. You could slide your left leg away from the right. Let's release to one more happy baby. That should do it. Now, hug in your knees. Why? Because we want to keep the knees high for our spinal twist, right? Make a note. Keep them high as you drop both knees to the right. Arms can go out like wings. Turn your head to the left. Keep both knees high. Shari, bend the knees, drop them down. That's it. Head turning to the left. Jennifer, see if you can get the legs all the way down. Find the breath, right? Nice deep breathing in and out through the nose. You can release. Hug in the knees. So I don't think I mentioned it, but your arms can go out like wings, yes. When we do the other side. No, when we do the other side. Hug in the knees for now. But you can bring them a little more overhead so you can open up the meridians of the heart, lungs, and the intestines, large and small, because when we twist, those meridians are involved. That should do it. Go ahead and keep the knees high, drop them over to the left. Your arms can start out like wings. Turn your head to the right. Bring in the deep breathing. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can bring the arms a little bit more overhead. Nice deep breathing in and out through the nose. You can release. Hug in the knees. So we'll hug in for a full minute. That's going to do it for this sequence. We've been on our backs the whole time. We're going to move into another sequence where we'll be sitting. You might as well give a little affection to the 56 bones of the feet. Rotate the ankles. You can spread the toes, point the toes, crimp the toes as well. So I'll join you in a moment, but I should be able to describe your next movement. When you're ready, come up to seated. Now, as you sit, bring your legs straight out in front of you, feet about hip width. So we're going to deepen the lateral bend. Make sure you sit straight up. Bring your right hand to your hip. Look straight ahead. Level the chin. Give me a lateral bend to the right. Take your time here, since this is 1.5 minutes. You don't have to get there all the way. But try to bend the bottom arm so you can go sideways. Drop that ear as well. And just gently work your way to the side. Good. Bend the bottom arm. Bend that bottom arm so you can go sideways. Yeah, there you go. Yes, and that can work too, Kay, if you want. You can even try to put your forearm on the block or to the rug. Let me get your block. See how that feels for you. It is comfortable, says Nanette Palmer. Sounds comfortable, she says. So let's see about that, Beverly. Good. Don't forget the ear. Right? Don't forget your neck. You can begin releasing out. Bring the block the other side if you're using it, and find a lateral bend to the left. Looking straight ahead and dropping down, taking your time. You can internalize, no reason to have the eyes open. That way we can slow the mind and find your breath. You can release. Now, how are we going to stretch from those two lateral bends? Cross your legs. So we're going to do some gentle hip opening with square pose. You're not going to pull the legs and feet close to the groin. In square pose, you move the feet away from each other, where you make a rectangle with the lower legs, or even a square from this leg to the front of the mat. Most important part here, tip your sit bones forward. And when you're ready, release right down the middle. Square pose. You should feel some stimulation in the hips. Good, very nice. Just make sure you're surrendering on the exhale. Check in with the breath. Release. Now, you have a full minute to counter pose, right? You could lie down and do some arch pose, windshield wipers. You can hug in the knees. You can move any way that works for you to release the tension from that forward fold. I meant to ask you, try to remember which foot you had out in front. Try to make a note. When your legs were crossed, do you remember which foot was in front and which foot was in back? This is simply because we're going to recross the legs here in about 30 seconds the other way, right? We're going to switch it up. So you can begin coming back up to seated. So this time, cross your legs the other way from what you just had them. I hope everybody remembers. The reason we're crossing the legs, sit up tall, is because before we do square pose, you're going to need the knees for leverage. So let's twist to the right, bring your left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, and twist to the right. Be careful here. You don't have to go big because you're going to be holding this for a minute and a half. So you can take your time, slowly working to a seated twist this time. Try to get that chin behind you and make sure you're breathing nice and deep. You can release and see if you can twist to the left, right? Your right hand on the left knee, sit up tall, level the chin, and go left. And again, take your time here. You're going to be here for a minute and a half, so you don't have to get there all at once. Release. Now, leave your legs where they are, right? We're going to find our forward fold, but you're going to separate the feet to square pose again, right? And then tip the sit bones forward. Release right down the middle. Three minutes. Find your breath. Release. Oh, just like before though, right? You can lie down. You can try some arch poses, lift your butt off the mat. You can do windshield wipers. You can hug in your knees. Take a full minute. Take a full minute to release any tension that you have. So we're going to move into another sequence. There is a bonus question coming up. And honey, you cannot answer it because you were at class. You already know the answer to it. I'm going to join you in the next first part of the sequence so that I can enjoy the pose as much as you're going to. Now, you guys still have another 20 seconds to restore your spine back to equanimity. The question is, what's the name of the most popular pose in all of Yin Yoga? Does anybody know? Elizabeth says toe squat. Elizabeth is correct. Unfortunately, the bonus question does not come with a 10% discount on your next class. When you're ready, let's come up to your knees with enthusiasm. If your knees are sensitive, you're going to be standing, and you'll find 1 foot for the entire minute and a half. You'll lean against the wall, bring 1 foot back, and try to get as much weight on all 5 toes. Yeah, go back there is fine. Curl your toes. Are your toes curled? Yes. So push against the wall, turn, Bobby. Bring one foot back behind you and curl the toe. Curl the toe, yeah. Put a lot of weight on it. Now everybody else sit as we begin the timer. So we're going to take your mind off of the wonderful pleasures of the toe squats by opening the shoulders. Interlace your fingers, flip the palms, and draw the arms up close to the ears. Just 1 foot at a time, Bobby. Bring your hands and put all the pressure on the toe, because we're going to go through this again. I do have good news. We're going to set a record. We've never done toe squats for more than 1.5 to 2 minutes. We're going to do 3 minutes today. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. We're opening the wrists as well and the fingers. Now, grab opposite elbows. Snuggle the upper arms into the ears and pull those arms back behind the ears. Hang in there. You're just about 30 seconds away from finishing. Five. Bring your hands to the mat and uncurl your toes. Disappointed, as I know you are. Disappointed to have to come out of there, huh, Beverly?
Right. Not really.
You love it and you know it. Bobby, you can come back to your mat. So we're going to move into some back bending. What's that, Nanette Palmer?
You're not the Tim we know and love.
I'm not the Tim you know and love. Someone called me in Vail a masochist last night. Let's come up to kneeling. Now, try to get your thumbs to touch behind your back. Push them into that lower back where we had the block earlier, and lay the head back. Push the groin forward. You have a modified camel for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we're going to move into this new sequence, opening the hips gently with pigeon or swan. Exhaling on the release, releasing back on the exhale. And some gentle back bends. You can gently release out, bring your hands back down to the mat. Now we're going to move into high-flying swan or pigeon. Let's go left this time. Slide your left knee all the way up between the hands. Scoot the left foot to the right about 4 or 5 inches. And then walk the right leg back, back, back. Come up to your fingertips and proud up the heart for the first minute. Continue with a back bend for 1 minute. We're working a little bit of the fingers here. As you exhale, try to push that heart backward You should feel a little sensation in the right side of that lower back. I'm going to deepen this pose in about 10 seconds, so there's a little more to it, but we're going to stay in this back bend for a full minute. When you're ready, open your eyes and look up to the ceiling. Each time you exhale, keep deepening the pose, moving on the exhale. Hang in there, I need a few more breaths. Look down at your mat. Leave your legs where they are and drop down to sleeping pigeon or swan. Now you can focus exclusively on the hip. Walk that back leg back a little more if you want. Feel the stretch in the hip. Good. Yep, you're fine, Mike. Now just roll over to the left and roll over to your side. Take a minute to recover. You won't need much, right? You can go to your side or your back, recovering any way that works for you. We're going to do that whole sequence over again, but take a full minute to rest. Now, Bobby, what I meant was just take one foot, get some toes like us. We're right. You're going to take one foot, just one. Try to get some weight on it. So yes, we're going to set a new record here in the building, right? With another set of toe squats. Remember, we, as our author writes, I'm paraphrasing, we put our feet in shoes, imprisoning the toes, and then when we get to our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, our toes stop working, we fall down. Everyone should be wearing barefoot shoes. When you're ready, enthusiastically come back up to kneeling so we can do a minute and a half more of the wonderful toe squats, the most popular pose in all of Yin Yoga. Now, we're going to do a little different opening of the shoulders as you sit down. Toes are curled.
I was just waiting for you to tell us.
Here we go. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Pull your hands to one side. If I was standing in front of you, I could see all your knuckles. This chicken wing elbow, push it back. Now you've got both elbows driving toward your back, opening up the shoulders, proud the heart up, breathing here. My fingers are interlaced. I'll show you what I mean when you come back out. So we're going to go the other side. You're going to interlace behind you. And then pull those arms the other way, all the way across. When you can go no further, push that elbow back and try to proud up the heart. Hang in there. You're just about 26 seconds away. Are you sitting on your heels, Shari? So you can feel opening those toes, right? Five, 3, and release. Oh, too bad. That's a record though. And your toes have never felt better. Right? They're thanking you right now. Thank you very much. I can hear your toes thanking you. Now, if you remember from last time, take a few more moments to recover. We're going to do another gentle back bend, modified camel. So come up, push your hands up from the mat. Try to get your thumbs touching together. Join us, Bobby. Pushing the thumbs into the lower back. Lay the head back. Minute 30. Breath is deep. Each time you exhale, releasing. Okay. So we're not doing the toes anymore. You're just doing back bend.
Okay. You go. I see you down.
Now push. Right there. Release. Bring your hands to the mat. We're going to deepen that back bend a little, right? This time slide your right knee all the way up between the hands. Scoot the right foot to the left about 4 or 5 inches. Walk that back left leg back. Don't collapse to the right hip. For the first minute, come up to your fingertips. Proud up your heart. Come up on your fingertips. Move that right foot to the left. Just the foot. There you go. Walk that back leg back. After 30 seconds, we're going to deepen this. Try to move with the breath. And bring your awareness into that lower back. When you're ready, open the eyes and look up. Lay the head back. Strengthening the optical nerves as you explore. And also opening up the finger joints where your heart, lungs, small, large intestine meridians begin and or end, as well as your pericardium and the most important meridian in the body, the Sanjiao meridian, runs through the fingers, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Now let's sleep in sleeping swan or sleeping pigeon as you drop down, bringing exclusive awareness to the hip. You could even walk that back leg back. The toe squats, beginning and or ending in the toes, your lower meridians, which run through the toes, ankles, knees, hips, and other areas of the body, stomach, spleen, gallbladder, urinary bladder, kidney and liver meridians. So we'll do 2 minutes here, and that'll be the end of this sequence, and we'll move on to the next one. So we've been doing Yin Yoga 2 years, I would say, around the end of the summer. Only the last 10 classes or so we've offered a guided meditation. So today at the end of class we'll do a guided meditation. You can just collapse to the right and come out of your pigeon or swan and relax for a few moments. So more lateral bends in this class than any yin class we've done before as well. And that was by design. A lot of times we do our share of back bends and twisting. So we're going to add about an extra 2 minutes of lateral bends. You okay over there, Mike? Yeah. So when you're ready, let's come back up to seated. This sequence is only 5 minutes, and then we'll begin to wind down with 7 more minutes. So stay with me. Once again, bring your legs straight out in front. Instead of 1.5 minutes like last time, this is only 1 minute of lateral bends. Bring your right hand to the right hip area. Look straight ahead, level the chin. Give me just 1 minute of a lateral bend to the right. You can bring the block to the forearm if you want, but we're only here for a minute. You may be okay. Don't forget the neck. Don't forget the neck. Right? Let that ear drop. When you're ready, float over to the other side. Left hand down by the hip. Drift to the left. Let that ear drop to the shoulder. You can bend the bottom arm, or you can place the forearm on the block or the floor and check in with the breath. Is it comfortable in here? Should we cool it off a little? It feels pretty good, right? 1 degree? Okay. You can release. Now, bring your legs out to wide angle. Try Try to flex your feet so your toes facing back towards you. That way you can move the legs as one piece, a little more solid, to get those legs out wide. Tip your sit bones forward because we're going right down the middle. When you're ready, right down the center. Dragonfly or straddle, according to Yin Yoga. We know it also as wide angle. You can gently come out, and once again, lie on your back. 1 minute, right? You can do arch pose. You can hug your knees. You can do windshield wipers. Try to release some of the tension. We're moving into our last 7 minutes. Gentle back bends, shoulder openers. Stay focused. Stay focused since each pose is timed, each breath is precious. When you're ready, let's come up to table pose. Bobby, you'll come to standing. You'll find your shoulder openers against the wall. You'll know what to do because we've done it before. Melting heart. When you're ready, walk your table toward the back of your mat. Bring your hands with you. Underneath your shoulders, your hands are. Walk your hands 2 hand lengths forward. Leave your hands there and sit your butt back toward your heels. If your elbows are touching, your hands aren't far enough out front. You can drop your head down, move your hands forward to the mat or a block. Try to feel the stretch in your shoulder joints and the upper back. This is melting heart. 2 minutes. Okay, and if your butt is resting on your heels, your hands are not far enough out front. We don't want you to rest. We want to stretch. Good. Everybody looks fine. Spread the fingers nice and wide so you can make some energetic, the pose a little more energetic, opening up the heart and lung meridians. Run through the fingers, wrist, elbows, shoulder areas. So remember, this is it. Stay with me on this pose in the last 5 minutes when we get to Sphinx. When you're ready, you can release out of there and see if you can find Sphinx, where you're going to walk all the way to your stomach, straighten out your legs, all the way down. I'm not going to start the 5-minute timer yet until we all get in position. Remember, you're going to be on your forearms. Your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Lift your heart up away from the mat and bring in the breath. You could spread the fingers again. Now remember, each time you exhale, try to feel the heart lifting up and back. That will bring in some awareness. You're on your forearms, Shari. Each time you exhale, just lift your heart up and push it back. With that feeling and awareness, with the feeling comes awareness. So just move with the breath. We're going to deepen the pose in about 45 seconds. Remember, in Sphinx, we recommended 20 minutes. We've done as much as about 10 or 12, 2 different sets. Today, we're only doing 5 minutes, but we've already done 6 minutes of other back bends. We'll end up with about 12 minutes of back bends total. When you're ready, open your eyes and look up to the ceiling. Each time you exhale, try to look up a little higher. Eyes are open. So you're benefiting when you lay the head back, the thyroid gland. Hang in there, I need about 25 more seconds. So I'll share a story with you from Judy at the VFW. She did a thyroid test. Her doctor said she was at level 8 and needed to take medication for her thyroid. And when you're ready, droop your head. Let your head droop. Take a rest of the 7 vertebrae in the cervical spine, the neck. Remember, you can stimulate your thyroid gland with shoulder stand or plow pose. If you don't know what those poses are, Google them. So she went home for 4 weeks. She didn't want to take medication. She did shoulder stand and plow pose because she remembers me reading from a yoga book where many people have come off their thyroid medication. She went back to her doctor, and she's now at a level 2. When you're ready, bring your head back up to Sphinx pose. We have 2 minutes to go. I'm going to deepen it in just a moment. I need you to bring your awareness back to that breath, lifting out of the shoulders. Each time you exhale, lift the heart away from the mat, push it back. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to straighten your arms to Cobra. In a moment, I will. If you're not able to straighten the arms to Cobra, you'll have to move your hands forward a few inches. When you're ready, straighten your arms to Cobra. The reason the arms are straight is so you can support your weight. If they're not straight, you might have to move the hands forward. Lift out of the shoulders, look straight ahead. Breathe. So this is Cobra. Try to drop that groin down if you can, but don't hurt yourself. Soften the face. Don't hurt yourself. Soften the face. So here we go. I'm hoping you can hang in there for 50 more seconds. Open your eyes. Look up to the ceiling. This is it. Hang in there. Breathing deep. Lift out of the shoulders. Each time you exhale, opening up that thyroid gland, right? Now after you do shoulder stand and plow pose, you should do a modified camel where you lay the head back. And this is modified camel, your counter pose. Hang in there, I need 15 more seconds. Well done. Gently come out. You could bring all the way down, split your elbows, stack your hands under your chin. Class is over. However, right, we're going to take a minute here to recover. And don't forget, we have about a 6-minute guided meditation coming up. Take a few moments to release the tension. So who's ever viewing this YouTube video can thank you guys for demonstrating a nice yin class. Let's push up and back into child's pose. As you come back to child's pose, feel the tension still in the back. Try to round the back and release a little more of that tension. So in about a minute, we're going to move into the second most important pose in all of yoga, your final resting pose, where we'll go through a guided meditation. Of course, the most important pose in all of yoga is to meditate and seek the kingdom within. When you're ready, go ahead and just lie on your back. You're going to need a little more time, perhaps, to hug in the knees, do some arch pose, some moving spinal twists. But class is over, so you're trying to wind down. Eyes can shut. No more deep breathing. But do what you need to do to find a very comfortable position. And in a few moments, right, we'll give you a full minute, we'll start our guided meditation. So take about another 30 seconds or so. And just try to let all the energy out in your body. So we'll start first by focusing on the breath. You're breathing in and out through your nose, just regular breathing. We'll continue with your natural breathing. But I want you to feel the air enter through your nostrils. As you inhale, can you feel what area of the nostrils? And as you exhale, just bring your awareness to whatever area of the nostrils. So you're feeling the breath. So just continue to feel your breath. Continue with your natural breath, feeling the air enter through the nostrils, feeling the air exit through the nostrils. And continue to feel the breath. And feel the calmness in the breath. And feel the ease and the steadiness of the breath. So we're going to move away now from your awareness of the breath. We'll move into our guided meditation. And feel your body becoming light. So light it begins to float up off the ground. And begin to soar into the sky where it's warm and beautiful. The sky is blue and full of white, puffy clouds. Birds are singing, and the sunshine is warm and golden. Now, imagine your favorite place. Take a moment to imagine that place. Imagine what it looks like. Imagine what it smells like. Are there any other people there, or are you by yourself? Continue soaring through the beautiful blue sky to your favorite place. Fly overhead and see this place from the sky. Look down upon it. Enjoy seeing it from so high above. Now, fly past your favorite place and see a rainbow in the distance. Begin to soar through the sky toward the rainbow. The rainbow is beautiful, full of so many colors, so bright and playful. Fly straight into the rainbow and grab your favorite colors in your hand. Continue to soar through the sky. Find a large leafy tree and begin to descend from the sky to land safely and softly on the tree branches. The tree is strong and supports you. Enjoy swinging from the tree branches and climbing down its trunk. At the base of the tree is grass, green and soft. It's a restful place. The tree offers shade and the grass offers comfort. Lie down on the grass and relax under the shade of the tree. Feel completely relaxed and still. Listen to the birds singing overhead. Feel the warm breeze on your cheeks. Now begin to slowly move your fingers and toes. Eventually making your way back to the present, stretching out any way that works for you best. As you find your way back to this field of thought, carefully, mindfully make your way up to a comfortable seated or kneeling, any other position that works for you today. So that wasn't too bad, huh? You okay, Beverly? Good. I enjoyed teaching it as well. If it works for you, bring your hands to the heart center. As always, thank you all for such a delicious Yin class, sharing it with me and with each other. Today's closing from Swami Shivananda. He died in 1963 at the age of 76. Humility is not cowardice. Meekness is not weakness. Humility and weakness are indeed spiritual powers. I hope your weekend is filled with sweet, tender, loving thoughts. Namaste.